Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's KGibbs F1 here, with you as always today to talk you through all of the action from round 12 of FormulaXbox Season 7. We're here at the Hockenheimring in Germany for the German Grand Prix. And it may not carve through the forest as it used to, but the Hockenheimring is still just as exciting as ever, with plenty of overtaking zones, none more so than at turn 6, the heavy braking zone at 6, and the very tight hairpin that it is. You get some very, very good wheel-to-wheel action through turns 3 and 4 before everyone tries to get into each other's slipstream through 5, the parabolica curve, and you can end up with cars 3, maybe even 4 wide going into 6. So watch out for that one as the race unfolds. Hoping that it will be a fairly mundane affair, at least compared to what I've just described it as, is the championship leader Azar, who's on pole once again for this one for Ferrari. Very solid qualifying consistency that he's showing at the moment. And of course, if you can qualify at the front of the grid in what can be sometimes frenetic races, that can get you out of the carbon zone, get you out of trouble. And Azar is in that position of luxury at the moment. Now joining him on the front row today is Knorr. It's familiar to see a Red Bull alongside Azar, but it's been Sinan of late, so Knorr has done well to get on the front row in second place. Mighty Midget for Toro Rosso looking to displace his Red Bull counterpart, who is obviously lining up third. As we cross over to the grid now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 red lights here in Germany. It's lights out and away we go. Mighty Midget with a fairly decent start, but not as good as that of Knorr, who might be able to mount an assault on Azar into turn 1. Takes it cautiously. It's Azar with the whole shot, followed by Knorr, followed by Mighty Midget and Melanie, who's come up from 5th on the grid to 4th at the start of this one, as they all head into the braking zone of turn 2 now, and it's Azar who maintains first position. Now you'll see a mix of strategies as well in the top left of your screen, and that is because we had a wet qualifying session, so everybody has a free choice of tyres. As you can see, the majority of the field have gone for the middle option. They've gone for the soft compounded tyres, super soft, soft and medium, the choices available to our drivers today. And so very interesting to see that a lot of people have avoided the super soft tyre, which is a bit of a tyre wear issue around here. It certainly wears out very, very quickly indeed, and so a lot of drivers not opting to run that one for their opening stint. And we see a replay of the start now from Sam's perspective in P9. It seems a fairly clean start all round, really. As you can see, Canary's having a look down the inside of Sam, but to no avail. There, hangs on to P9, and everybody very circumspect on this lap 1. Nobody wanting to make a move. Obviously, with overtaking being a very real possibility round here, there is no point losing your front wing on lap 1 when there will be ample opportunities to get by the guy ahead. As we see Canaries and Sam going wheel to wheel at turn 6, and Sam trying to get as much good a traction as he can off the corner, and that he does. Canaries has to settle back into 10th for now, and he's now coming under pressure from EIusiveKev behind. Sam bridging the gap to those guys ahead, and the Williams of Galvanic Gamer Worthy gets all out of shape on the exit of turn 8, and he started on 4th on the grid, so he's lost out big time there. Sam trying to take 2 cars in the space of 2 corners as he gets up the inside of the manor as they head through turn 11. Very solid stuff there from Sam indeed. He's on the outside as they head through the stadium section, and he's not quite got the job done because back comes Kung Fu Kenny Jack. Did not want to take that overtake lying down, and he's come straight back at Sam. So excellent stuff there as we see Sinan recovering from a poor qualifying, and he's made his way up to 11th already, dispatching EIusiveKev in short order there. Canaries off on the left, and that's another place gained for Sinan. He's now up into P10. Rich vein of form that Sinan's in at the moment. You'd expect him to really mount a challenge to the guys at the head of the field by the end of this one, as we see Drastic Devil now mounting a challenge to EIusiveKev, and Drastic Devil makes contact with the Sauber. Unfortunately not the first time we've seen Drastic Devil win the wars this season, and ultimately this time he's the one that comes off second best against EIusiveKev there, and he drops to the very back of the order, as we see Sam now having another go at the manner that he almost virtually overtook on the last lap, and this time into turn 6. Easily done there for Sam. Just needs to make sure he gets good traction out of the corner, and that is job done. P7. And Sam on an absolute charge, loving these soft tyres, is now going to try and take TSRL Bottas. He's on the outside at 1, but Bottas backs out of it, and so Sam takes it. Bottas is all over the show at the moment, off at turn 1, loses a handful more places as well there. So Bottas really struggling for whatever reason, and Sam made the move on him just spooked him and went off the road. As we see now Kung Fu Kenny Jack and Galvanic Gamer. The battle is on between these two, and the Williams is having a look down the inside at the hairpin, and he seems to have got the job done. Is he going to run the man out of road? He most certainly is, and that was very rude there. Kung Fu Kenny Jack keeping his foot in, and Worthy not looking to, well, very uncompromising stuff, you've got to say there. I don't know whether the stewards will take a look at it or not, but Worthy, not quarter was asked by the manor, quarter was not given by Worthy. And so Sinan says thank you very much. He's up to P7 already on lap 4 of this one, and now has Sam in his sights. Sam, of course, who has been rapid thus far, so you wonder what will go on with those two, whether Sam will be able to tow Sinan up to the guys ahead. And speaking of towing, we see Melanie now really making his way back through the field. He must have got caught up in an incident on lap 1, because we saw him made his way up from 5th to 4th on the grid, and well, that was a lag incident there. I think they've got away without any damage, but certainly a couple of places lost there from Elle. As we see now, the answer to the question I posed a lap ago as to what would happen between the battle and between Sam and Sinan, and it is actually Sinan making the move on the Ferrari driver. So that is the Red Bull man up to 6th place now. So really making some excellent progress in this opening stint. So Sinan doing a very, very good job indeed. Sam now coming under threat from the Williams as well. He could be mugged here with 2 cars going past him in short order, as Worthy will now have the inside at turn 7. Flat out through here, of course. It's going to be the braking zone of 8 that will decide it. Sam with the inside line. Can't show Worthy the runoff area there though, because the Williams is far enough alongside. But for some reason, Worthy has had to get out of the throttle there, and that has given Sam a bit of a breather, but not until the next lap, when Worthy is going to mount a challenge all over again. And this is some excellent pace from Worthy in this opening phase of the race. He's on the medium tyre, the harder medium tyre, of course, and so he's going to be going very long in this first stint, a lot longer than those guys on the soft tyre. So, and he's passing Sinan now as well, by the looks of things. Sinan's going to fight back. This is some very impressive stuff from Worthy in these opening stages. Really could become a factor in the closing stages of this race. And well, there's an incident there, as I think that was a Renault out of the equation. Couldn't quite catch who it was, but that's Sinan promoted to P4. That's Worthy up to P5, and Sam back into P6. I'm hearing there's actually Maestro who was in the wall there. So Maestro is out of this race, and he's running very strongly indeed in the top 4. So very, very bad news for him. And Renault will be very annoyed at that. We haven't seen a replay yet of what happened, but it was up at turn 8. So maybe a bit of contact through 7 that just escalated to the barriers at turn 8, and where the scene of the accident was. But meanwhile, we've just seen there a battle between Kev and Vapid. We're going to break away from that instantly, because Sam has made a move on Worthy. His pace has just dropped off Worthy's at the moment. He's the medium tyres should go for longer than the softs. You'd imagine he's got a lot more tyre left than these guys around him. But Worthy, the early pace and promise that he showed has now all gone away, and here we go. It's just like Hungary all over again. Sinan versus Noor as the Red Bulls do battle going into turn 6. I said it would be an action area, and boy have we seen overtakes into there already, and it's only lap 9. So this is going to be a long one, folks. Strap in. There's plenty of racing still to be done, and we've had plenty of it so far already. Plenty of on-track battles and action. As we see now Worthy coming back at Sam. They're just swapping positions for the fun of it at the moment. And that's Worthy up to P5. Sam demoted once again to P6. And here's Mighty Midget again. He was running he started P3 and is now down in P11. He's on the medium tyre though, so potentially he's already made his first pit stop of the day. In fact, he definitely has made his first pit stop of the day, so that could be some reasoning as to why he's that far down. As I'm going to stop even calling these, because it's just a matter of time now. Every time a move is made, Sam or Worthy just come straight back at each other. And just as I say that, here we go. We've got a perfect example of it. Worthy with better traction off a 6 has got the inside now at turn 8. Can't make very good use of it though, because Sam has hung it out around the outside there. He's got the inside for turn 10, and that is job done. As they head towards turn 11, or is it? No, because Worthy's going to try and hang it out around the outside of 11. Are we brave to do that? He is brave though. He's hung it out there. He's going to have the inside at the Sachs curve, and he seems to have got the high ground for the corner, but Sam's hung it out around the outside very well indeed, using the berm to good advantage, and that is P5 retained. These two absolutely going at it hammer and tongs at the minute. Brilliant stuff. But of course, Sam has got to bear in mind that Worthy on those medium tyres is going to be faster in the latter stages when he can run a softer tyre, softer compound, or at least make a pit stop less than what Sam is going to. So this is really a futile battle at the minute. Sam needs to be clearing off up the road rather than scrapping with the Williams at this stage in the race, and he's not able to do that. The amazement Azar, of course, has just come out of the pits as well. He's gone on to the soft compound tyres, so he's run soft and soft in the opening phases of this race, and surely he'll be catching onto the back of these two and regaining the de jure race lead anytime soon. He is of course still our de facto leader and has been since the very start. So Sam comes into the pits, puts on a set of the soft compound tyres. Melanie takes over at the head of the field now. Of course, he started on those medium compound tyres, so like Worthy is able to run a lot further into this opening stint, as we see now on board with Kay Gibbs, TSRL Bottas and Perez, the men that he's scrapping with at the moment. And Perez has just gone really wide there, and Kay Gibbs says thank you very much, that'll be a position gain for me. Kay Gibbs, of course, this was the scene of his last race win, his last league race win in fact, all the way back in 2011 in Season 2, and well, this could change things. We've got a safety car deployed now, lap 16, we're going to restart this race, but that has shuffled the order somewhat, and that's really going to be a big advantage to those guys who are running the medium compound tyre, because of course they can make their pit stop and essentially have almost a free pit stop at this point. So Azar still leads, but as you can see, Worthy's gained some track position. He's now ahead of Sam. He's got Kung Fu Kenny Jack splitting the Williams and Ferrari in this race at the moment, but he looks to be making a move on the Williams for now. Sinan and Melanie battling out up ahead as well. Melanie's all the way up in second place after being mired at the back of the field early on. Of course, that safety car has played right into his hands, but Sam with an absolutely tremendous slipstream, 3 wide as we head in towards turn 6. Kung Fu Kenny Jack bravely round the outside. Worthy seems to be the one that's lost out there, but great traction off the corner, using those super soft to good effect. And Mighty Midgets wants a piece of the action as well, as the front 7 seem to have formed a bit of a breakaway on this restart. Worthy with an audacious move up the inside of Kung Fu Kenny Jack. Bit of contact between them, but no harm done, and well, the manner shows Sam the runoff area there. So that was pretty uncompromising stuff to say the least between the 7 leading protagonists in this race. And here comes Drastic Midget with a heck of a slipstream as well down the inside of Kay Gibbs, as Perez and Vapid do battle as well. They make contact on the exit of the corner. Kay Gibbs collides with Drastic Midget as he took a void in action to avoid the cars ahead of him, and Drastic Midget, the innocent bystander there, is collected. We're going to see it now from Kay Gibbs' perspective, and Perez and Vapid get into each other, and Kay Gibbs so very nearly collects the back of the Force India. Unfortunately collects the Williams as a bit of collateral damage there, unfortunately, and Drastic Midget with absolutely nowhere to go, Kay Gibbs with nowhere to go, and unfortunately one of those racing incidents you can see as ever when the field bunches up after a restart. Kev, the beneficiary out of that, picks off a few places and gets up to P10, so he's now into the points and will be looking to keep hold of that points playing place until the end of this race. He's on medium compound tyres. Now it'll be interesting to see if he can stretch those to the end of this race. It's going to be a big ask, and it's going to be a long way to go on one set of tyres. But if anyone can, you'd imagine Kev with his experience in FormulaXbox would be the man for the job. As we see now, a Mighty Midget on the back of this leading 7 is going to become a leading 8 in a minute, because Kay Gibbs isn't far away if he can try and hang on to these guys. As we see now, Kung Fu Kenny Jack gets wide, Sam gets wide, Mighty Midget gets a perfect line through turn 1 instead. He may have a look down the inside of the manor into turn 2, but no, too far back. He's going to bide his time, quite wisely in fact, and is now going to get the slipstream as they head through the parabolica curve of turn 5. Sam's going to get a double slipstream behind these two, and Sam actually looks like he's going to be the most likely to make a move as they head towards turn 6. It's going to be maybe 3 abreast by the time they get to the apex. Mighty Midget super late on the anchors, has maybe picked off Kung Fu Kenny Jack as well. In fact, he has. Fantastic stuff there from Mighty Midget. How he got that one stopped, I do not know. We're going to see from Sam's perspective. He went down the inside of the manor as well. Look how close it was at the apex. How those 3 didn't come to blows is unreal. Got so close, and here we go. Speaking of close battles, here comes Sinan making his way past Melanie as well. Now Sinan up to P2. It's a familiar sight in first and second as Azar leading from Sinan. These two of course have locked out the front row the previous 2 races. They didn't today, but they're now first and second on the road in this race. As we see Sam now battling with Kung Fu Kenny Jack. Sam's, oh, and a bit of wheel banging there at the hairpin. Sam, I was about to say, seemingly battling with people all day long, and that is exactly what he's doing right now as well. As they head side by side through turn 7, getting very close. I think they touched wheels again through the apex of 7, and K Gibbs is right on the back of this brace of battles at the moment, as we see now Sinan doing battle with the Williams of Worthy. I said Worthy had some good pace early on, but curiously he's gone for those super soft tyres when everyone around him has either gone to soft or medium. So it's interesting to see what contra strategy he is trying to sort in this one, but crucially he's got the track position he needs. So if the strategy is going to prove the strategy to win the day, ultimately he's at least got the track position to make his plan work now. As we see, they're still battling away, Sam and Kung Fu Kenny Jack. The Manor covered the inside line. Sam was having none of it and goes to the inside anyway. Is he going to be able to get on the anchors early enough to cover the cutback on the exit? He hasn't, and the Manor retakes the place. K Gibbs smells blood now as well on the back of Sam, but cannot get the move done as they head towards now lap 21 and turn 1, and Sam has made the move on Kung Fu Kenny Jack in the most unorthodox of places. It's a four-way scrap now, as here comes TSRL Bottas as well, who's looking to make a move on K Gibbs and the Manor, and that he does going into the hairpin. The Manor's been really shuffled back there, as both TSRL Bottas and K Gibbs have both made a move. Kung Fu Kenny Jack though coming back at them, and well, we're chopping and changing like nobody's business as we head back to the battle over second place, as Galvanic Gamer makes a move again on Sinan, and Worthy's not got the pace at the minute on those super softs. You'd expect that Sinan would drop back and that Worthy would be able to bridge a gap over the guys behind it. Oh, there's contact as well at the apex of turn 8, and that's going to be costly for Sinan, who loses 2 places. Worthy's tyres may be going off at this stage. We know the super softs really do lack longevity, and potentially that's proving costly for him, but this will bring him right back into play. Another safety car has been deployed, and well, we've got Drastic Devil, who's really that couldn't have been timed any better for the Haas man, who managed to pit just at the right time so he could gain a bit of time and a few track positions off of this safety car. As we see a lot of frenzy of activity on pit road. Of course, the guys that are pitting now will be able to go to the end of this race as they box and go on to the soft compound tyres, or medium in the case of Sam. This was really a very interesting split. Will drive, I mean, it's right on the bubble. Depending on how long this safety car stays out for, you might well be able to go soft, medium, but the question is, do you have any soft tyres left anyway? Well, the guys, the top 3 at least, are on the soft tyre. We've got Mighty Midget, followed by TSRL Bottas, followed by Perez on this restart. We've got 2 Toro Rossos in the podium positions at the moment, as the Mighty Midget drops the hammer, and we get this race back underway with 10 laps to go here in Germany. The Mighty Midget leads, TSRL Bottas in second, Perez in third, in what is an unfamiliar top 3 so far in season 7 at least, and the Mighty Midget will try and get the hammer down now to bridge a gap, and maybe, just maybe, if he can stretch his tyres to the end of this race, bag an unlikely victory. And Azar, where is he going to play out in all this? Because of course he's controlled the race thus far. He has pitted under the safety car, so he will be going to the end. But whether he'll have track position when the pit stops play their way out is another factor. As we see now, Drastic Devil has really benefited. There was 13th when the safety car was deployed. He's now ahead of K Gibbs, he's ahead of Sam, he's ahead of Sinan, he's up in P7 as it's all bunching up as they head through the parabolic curve of turn 5. We've got K Gibbs, Sinan and Sam 3 wide now as they head towards turn 8. Turn 6 I should say, who's going to come off better here? Sinan has got the jump on the 2 cars he was battling with. Drastic Devil could be vulnerable now as he got all out of shape on the exit. Sinan has picked off the Haas. K Gibbs looks to do exactly the same thing, but Drastic Devil leaves him nowhere to go at turn 7, and Sam swoops around the outside there. Good reactions from Sam as K Gibbs had to get right out of the throttle, as Drastic Devil was pretty rude at the apex. As you see a replay now of Sinan absolutely carving his way through. We've just seen so often in this race how powerful Slipstream is here. Remember, DRS not activated for another 2 laps yet, and Sinan just doesn't need it at all. Got great straight line speed, great traction off of turn 3, and just picked off the guys around him. As we see Kev now battling it out over honours for P13, and just gets tagged by Kung Fu Kenny Jack there and spins round. We've seen that a couple of times already in this race at turn 8. As we've got Azar now. I said I wonder where he is. He's in first. That's where he is, making a move on Mighty Midget. And on those medium tyres, Azar takes track position. The de facto leader becomes the real leader in this race, and he is now surely looking very, very good for his 5th win of the season 7. As we head now towards the hairpin once again, Drastic Devil, Perez, Sam, Kung Fu Kenny, Jack, K Gibbs, all trying to vie for the same bit of tarmac, and Drastic Devil does not want to look in his mirrors because there are plenty of cars looking to dispose him from 7th place in behind. As Sinan, who's been in the thick of the action just like Sam all day long, makes a move now for 5th over TSRL Bottas. Drastic Devil gets wide at the final corner, and Sam is going to try and pick him off into turn 1, but no, can't quite do it there. And against Drastic Devil, he's probably wise to back out of it. He's got to watch though that the manner of Kung Fu Kenny Jack doesn't slide his way up the inside at turn 2, and that is exactly what he's done. Opportunistic stuff there from Kung Fu Kenny Jack. Makes his way up to P8, Sam P9, K Gibbs behind him P10, as they all have DRS on Drastic Devil, who is likely to be a sitting duck here. It's 3 abreast once again through turn 5. K Gibbs is going to know not where to go, doesn't want to make it 4 wide, and as they head towards the hairpin, Sam bails out of it. You've got Kung Fu Kenny Jack showing Drastic Devil the dirt on the outside. Sam and Drastic Devil now side by side as they head towards turn 7, and K Gibbs is right in there as well. There's contact between the Haas and the Ferrari. K Gibbs very nearly collected, and Sam is off in the kitty litter. He's gone to the car park. Drastic Devil is out of the equation. Sam down to P10, Drastic Devil out of the points, and that is disaster for those two. We're going to see a replay of the scene now. And I just wonder what happened on Drastic Devil's outside, because we saw he took such a shallow line in to the corner, and yes, it was K Gibbs, look, was alongside him, so there were 3 wide heading in towards turn 7, and Drastic Devil just didn't have a clear view of Sam. Sam on the inside there was the innocent bystander, and well, maybe someone should have backed out of it. Difficult to say, because you know, nobody could see all 3 cars at the end of the day. There's Sam, look, goes to the inside. K Gibbs is on the outside for the corner. He's going to leave plenty of room, and Drastic Devil just doesn't. He's just the meat in the sandwich. And, well, very, very unlucky stuff there, particularly in the case of Sam and Drastic Devil. K Gibbs getting away with it, very fortunate not to get collected. We see now the Mighty Midget emerges from the pit lane, not able to take those soft compound tyres to the end of the race. It was worth a gamble from the Toro Rosso pit wall. Ultimately, he had track position, and so you've always got to give these things a bash. But ultimately, he couldn't make it work on this occasion. But with super soft tyres in these closing stages, how far can the Mighty Midget get? So there's a recovering Sam now in P9. Drastic Midget takes the Ferrari for P8. But here goes the Mighty Midget looking to pick off both of them. He picks off the Williams on traction out of turn 6. And with those super sticky, super soft tyres, you'd imagine he'll pick off Sam in short order as well. Yeah, here we go, turn 8. He's already alongside. He's going to have the outside at turn 9. But look at the grip the Mighty Midget has. Mighty by name, mighty by nature. Whistles round the outside of Sam and takes P8. So he's on an absolute charge. And speaking of on a charge, someone fancies a podium, and that man is Sam in the Red Bull. Sinan in the Red Bull, I should say. Getting my S's confused right now. We've been in the thick of things all day long, and this Melanie's not going to give this one up without a fight there, side by side through turn 7. Sinan will have the inside line at turn 8, later on the brakes than his opponent as well, and Melanie, whose soft tyres might be beginning to cry enough at this point, has lost out on that final podium slot. Can he come back at the Red Bull, man? He's got 4 laps to do it. And here we go then. Lap 31 of 34. Here comes Melanie. He's going to look to the inside at the hairpin, is he? Yes, he goes for the move. He's super late on the brakes and shows Sinan a clear view of the runoff area. Both just about had enough room to get through the corner, but they're going to exchange places again just 1 lap later. Sinan this time to the outside. Gets it done a little bit sooner than what Melanie could, but the two make contact on the exit there. Melanie really aggressive on the exit of the corner. Did not want to give up that position. The two of them just about get away with it. But that was very, very rude from Melanie. And if Sinan does not get this 3rd place, he may well be taking that one to the stewards, because that was pretty brutal from Sinan, to say the least. And we check back in now with the Mighty Midget, who is continuing his charge through the field. He picks off K Gibbs, who is on those worn medium tyres now that he put on the safety car restart. He's fighting back though, so he's not going to give it up without a fight. But the Mighty Midget has got slipstream, DRS, and lots of grip over Vapid at the moment. He picks off the Force India, picks off the Mercedes, and has the whole shot now in P6. Can he close down 5th place? It's going to be a bit of an ask. I doubt it from here. And lap 33 now, the penultimate lap of this race. Sinan makes the move on Melanie, makes the move stick as well into turn 6 and is now up into P3. Will the McLaren be able to get the cut back? No, Sinan covers that off very, very well indeed, and has the McLaren covered at the moment. He looks like he's going to be leading into the final lap of this one, unless Melanie can do something at turn 8. He makes contact with the Red Bull, and that has really compromised, in fact, the McLaren more than it has the Red Bull. But he's still going to have DRS services, you see, a little bit later on in the lap. And yeah, Sinan gets a little bit of gravel on his tyres as well. That's not going to help. Melanie gets up the inside of the last corner. Now, it's curious that the McLaren's done that. We've seen how powerful the slipstream in DRS is through turn 5. And really, I think Melanie would have been better served waiting his time, biding his time, and waiting for that DRS service down the back straight. Instead, he's taken the track position, he's taken his chances, but now I'm sure Sinan is going to have DRS service, he's going to have slipstream, and surely he's going to pick off this McLaren on the way down towards turn 6. Look at this, it's easy for the Red Bull man. Melanie's going to watch this back later and think, why oh why did I make the move into the final corner? Unless he can find a way back past the Red Bull in the remainder of this lap, which is going to be very unlikely, then it's going to be the win, or it's going to be 3rd place I should say, for Sinan. And he does indeed cross the line 3rd, but crossing the line to take victory in this one is Azar's 5th win of the season. Worthy did actually cross the line with track position over the Ferrari, with penalties making their mark on this race result. Azar takes the win, and ultimately it's Worthy in 2nd place. 6 second of penalties demote him. Melanie actually gets P3 in the end after all that, after Sinan's penalty. So it's Kung Fu Kenny Jack in 5th. It's Mighty Midget recovering to 7th place. Sam in 8th place. K Gibbs 9th. Jurassic Midget 10th. Rounding out the final points playing positions on that one. That was absolutely breathless stuff. Half an hour of frenetic action here at Hockenheim. We often do see some very, very interesting racing indeed. And just as I said in the intro, Hockenheim very rarely disappoints. And then it hasn't here. So as far as what all that means for the championship equation, Azar with his 2nd consecutive win sits on 171.5 points. Sinan 136, obviously his 4th place today following his 2nd place in Hungary. Melanie sits on 127. He did bring himself into title contention, and really with another podium today is still very much in the mix, but 44.5 points off of Azar. He will need the Ferrari man to run into a spot of misfortune, you'd imagine, during the remainder of the campaign. Casey sitting in 4th place on 111.5 points, followed closely by Nor. Red Bull with both drivers in the top 5. Very, very solid effort from them. Sam holding on to that top 5 on 90 points at the minute, and a bit of a gap back to 7th place Vapid on 62. Really, it's 3 for the championship battle. Azar, Sinan, a peripheral figure in the face of Melanie. But ultimately, with Azar having won the last 2 races on the bounce, bouncing back very well from his disappointment at Silverstone, you'd imagine that bounce back ability will put him as odds-on favourite for FormulaXbox Season 7 honours. But until next time, when we'll be in Belgium for the Belgian Grand Prix, we shall see you very soon. Goodbye.